Hi! How are things? It's me again. So this is going to be another little kind of recap, favourites video in regards to the Hartnell years. So this video is going to be about companions. And my favourite companions from the Hartnell era. There are 5 on my list. I'm trying to just stick to 5s because it's kind of easier to kind of process in my brain and go through, and it doesn't kind of take up too much of your time with my own ramblings. So I thought I'd do this because we're nearing the end of season 4. I've got a couple of stories left. But these videos are quicker for me to produce than the actual reaction videos. They will be coming, but with work being quite manic, it's easier for me to kind of get these out at this moment in time. So I'll kind of just crack on and kind of get on with this list. So in 5th place is Sarah. Now, Sarah for me was kind of a little bit of a character that gradually stumbled onto this list. When we first met her, I wasn't a fan of her character. I didn't trust her. Then she killed the brig and I was angry. And I didn't particularly like that she'd killed the brig. But when we ended up finding out that she'd actually killed her own brother, and her reaction to obviously Stephen's calling out of why she did what she did, and obviously when she's realised shit, Magic Chen is actually a dick, and I've killed my brother because of a dick, and the pursuing efforts she put in to kind of, for me, she did what she did because of her brother. That's how I interpreted it. I interpret it as if she not only wanted to save everybody from the Daleks, but she wanted to do it because she didn't believe him, her brother. And I kind of got that she had a sense of guilt, that she kind of didn't give him the opportunity or the chance to kind of say, look, this is what's happening. And obviously she didn't really believe him either. But when she's obviously realised, hang on, he was right and I've killed him, for me that was her motivation to do what she did. And I was actually quite gutted when she died. And what a way to die. Like, what a way to die. I did not expect something like that to happen. And it was quite shocking. And the fact that she probably knew she was never going to make it to the TARDIS is probably what solidified her to kind of nudge her way onto my list. She actually pushed Susan off my list because even though we only really had her for that Dalek Master Plan 12 epic episode run, it was her motivation for doing what she did that I perceived that made her move onto my list. It also didn't help that the lady playing Sarah, Jean Marsh, I believe, was is a phenomenal actress in that, and she was great. And she really kind of brought a performance to that story that was not only needed but enhanced it for me. So that's the reason why Sarah made it onto my list. 4th on my list is actually Dodo. Now, Dodo, when we first met her, had her very beautiful Manchester accent. And I was so happy that there was somebody travelling in the TARDIS with a local accent, with a northern accent. It wasn't London based, because that's all we'd really seen up until that point. It wasn't London centralised as the BBC was at the time, with all the kind of whittling down from from John Reith, and how he would kind of only on the radio especially have people that had London accents, I suppose, or home counties accents. People of working class accents didn't really figure into programming at that time, I suppose, because even like things like Dixon of Dock Green was very centralised. So it was a nice little kind of thing to have. And I really enjoyed Dodo in the Ark. She brought a lot of lightness. The TARDIS seemed quite jovial when Dodo was on board. I loved the little friendship she had with Stephen, and how Stephen kind of looked out for her. And I just thought she was an all-round great character to have. And when she finally went, not only was I pissed off at the fact that she was written out the way she was, I was also really pissed off about how I subsequently found out Jackie Lane had kind of been treated. So that really kind of angered me, I suppose, to kind of just in part 2 of an episode, especially one like the War Machines, which was quite a kind of interesting episode, to say, oh, you know, she's kind of had this hypnosis, let's send it to this estate in the country to never be seen again. And I thought it was quite shoddy, a bit of a cop-out, and just I didn't agree with it at all, really. So Dodo came in for me in a brilliant way, but left in probably one of the worst ways to leave, I suppose, for someone in that position. So that was it was a damn shame that we didn't have Dodo for a lot longer than we did, because the characters that replaced her, I don't really have much affinity with. So that for me kind of put a dampener on the following couple of first episodes of Troughton. And not only Troughton, but also the last couple of episodes of Hartnell. So yeah, it was a shame. But my third favourite companion of the Hartnell years is Stephen. And now Stephen stuck into my heart like a ninja, because at first I kind of didn't think I would accept anybody that was not Barbara or Ian, but Stephen kind of crawled in there, and I was completely unaware of it. And then when Stephen left, I actually was more upset than I really, really expected to be. I want a high five. I would love a high five. If anyone knows where the bloody hell I can buy a replica of high five, I would bloody love one of those. The fact that his only companion was the teddy bear for God knows how long, years, I guess, before the Doctor and Babs and Ian and Vicky had kind of stumbled upon him, was just very sweet. And he really, really grew as time went on, and he became the Doctor's kind of right-hand man, his go-to man. They had their little bickers, but to me that kind of made it more human, and the relationship seemed more real the more they kind of bickered. And I just thought Peter Purvis's performances in the latter run of his character and his role of Stephen were just fantastically portrayed. And it was a delight to watch. So that's why Stephen kind of snuck up into my list, and took the third place. Second on my list is the beautiful Mr. Ian Chesterton. Ian, for me, is a gem. He's the kind of person you want in the situation that you find yourself in. Not only is he a good Sunderland lad, he's a gent. And I can't really say much more about Ian because I'll probably start crying because I just adored him. Took a while, but he got there. Yeah. Probably no surprises at who came first on my list. And that's my Babs. That's my Babs. I just adore her. To this day, I still just adore her. She was she was my connection to this. A big one. And when I watch episodes, I do kind of think, oh, what would Babs do in this situation? Like, how would Babs kind of deal with this? And especially if we find ourselves in the past, I'd be like, oh, bloody hell, like, we need Babs's kind of historical knowledge for this. And just her relationship with not only the doctor, but Susan and especially Ian were just beautiful to watch. And later with Vicky and how she kind of protected Vicky quite a lot, as well as Susan, in situations, and you could see how much they all cared for each other. Not only as kind of actors, but you could see they all cared for each other's characters as well. So I'm so sorry, this is like literally just turned into a video of me crying because of the beautiness of Babs. But I do apologise. I'm literally a wet blanket. So for me, it's got to be really, really, really difficult for anyone to surpass Babs. Really difficult. Really, really difficult. So I thought I'd just be kind of pass on my thoughts, and you know, feel free to pop your favourite character from the Hartnell years in the comments. If you want to say why, you know, that'd be great. Say why. I'll probably make a couple of more of these little videos at some point today, but I'll try not to cry in those ones. So I'll see you soon.